Okay, peaceful greetings. Welcome back to my channel. So I don't know why it wasn't actually telling me that I was live until 45 seconds or 44 45 seconds in. Okay, which is very interesting because of how much these motherfuckers don't want me to say what I'm going to say. The saying that I was quoting, it states, and it's very demonic that they don't want me to say this. It's very demonic that they don't want me to say this. But it's touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Okay? And they laughed in the face of God and thought that this shit was a game. So they were like, I hear the sound of Angelina Jolie in that movie, Girl Interrupted, where she's like, is that a dare or a double dare? Right? So these practitioners, these warlocks and witches, brujas and brujos, and these sangomas, whoever they have hired, they want to FAFO. They want to fuck around and find out that God is not playing about what he stated. Right? Touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. Okay? So so shall it be. That's not my problem. That's gonna be their problem. I'm gonna get my work done. I'm gonna do what God has, anointed and ordained for me to do. Okay. Well, there's one, two, three, four, five people that just got up and left when I was fighting them. They were attempting to hack my device right now, so I could not get this message out. Well, the devil is a lie today, tomorrow, and always. It, it was three guys, two. So the Truman Show has to be like very, very touchy subject because these people absolutely did not want me to say that on this live. So right when I was going to say it, they cut into the live like 6 times, at least 6 times. Okay. So anyways, if you were to mix all of those movies that I aforementioned, and they have gang stalkers and paid actors and actresses and all these beings that it's basically like the Matrix, how any of them can turn into an agent at any point in time. And I'm saying it's like demonic. An agent in the Matrix, in that movie, is very similar and likened to a demon or demon possessed, as the people you say back in the day, trying to give them extra strength and energy or whatever. And a lot of them, without that demon on them, they ain't shit. That's why they actually, you know, consent and come in agreement and contract with these demons because they can't on their own without the chosen one's high vibrational beings energy or a demon on their back or backing them or working for them or working with them, right? They ain't got that kind of strength, they ain't got that kind of power, they ain't got that kind of connection, right? Because I told you guys in a video a long time ago, as soon as they sell their soul, they cut the cord to source. That's why they gotta siphon energy from you being a high vibrational being. That's why they steal the creativity of, and this is over with. There's no more. We're not allowing for the thievery of our intellectual property, our creations by these weird beings. However, when they got cut from source, they now don't have connection to infinite creation. And the high vibrational beings, the chosen ones, the indigos, the star seeds, the star blossoms, and all the other high vibrational beings, they still have their connection to source. So they are connected to infinite creativity. And I heard this story being restated by somebody. I forgot who was stating it, but he was talking about how Michael Jackson had called this individual in the middle of the night, and the individual, was asleep, and Michael Jackson was like, "Come over right now. We got to record XYZ," right? And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm asleep." He was like, he didn't care. Michael Jackson did not care. He was like, "Get up right now." And he said, before Prince gets the idea, okay. So that in itself was very key to me because a lot of people are talking about copying and all this stuff from each other, but and you are part of the 144. We are all interconnected, and we're getting the same downloads because we're connected. Okay, we might be at different parts of the timeline or different timelines, right? But those timelines have been collapsing into each other. Okay, and I was listening to a talk. That talk, right? That was like confirmation that stating that if he didn't act upon recording what this download was, then the near future, that was going to be something that was going to be available to Prince, and Prince could have acted in, and part of the chosen 144. They're coming to us as downloads, and if one of us doesn't act upon it, it is for another one of us to step up and act upon it, right? And I already had come to this conclusion and clarification, not saying that there aren't people that are just copywriting and attempting to, plagiarize people's work. That's not what I'm saying. But it's given avatar when they're sitting around their tree of life, and they're all with their arms outstretched on each other's shoulder, and they're doing that movement in a circular motion as a unit, as one body, right? As one connected consciousness. When they're sitting in front of that tree of life, their tree of life, they're connected. And when downloads come, they're all getting the same thing. So that I hear other chosen ones come with something that I've already got the download for, but maybe didn't have the time to actually, like, on the front line really tear it up. Then I know, I'm like, wow, that individual is really tapped in, because I got that message too. I really did. So I don't look at it as, oh, they're hating, oh, they're whatever. No, I'm like, yep, they are actually legit, because I got that too. And there's a few of them that I have actually had that happen with. And I might just do a video about that. Okay? But anyways, these people that are adversarial forces, aka agents in the matrix, or whatever you want to call them, demonically possessed, whatever, these people are some of them, not all of them, some of them are bad actors, okay, and actresses, but some of them are actually really, really freaking good actors and actresses. And they will smile in your face, they will try to be your friend, they will, try to offer you gifts of cursed items and all this stuff, okay? Use your intuition, because it is not a game. These people have so many setups for me just to say it. I'm not talking about yesterday, day before, a week ago, a month ago. No, today they had traps and setups and poisonings and all kind of other shit to happen to me. But like I said, the devil is a lie today, tomorrow, and always. And thankfully, my intuition, which they were doing spell work against, was on my intuition and discernment was on point. Okay. And not only did I dismantle it, I overcame it. And some of these people, some of these demons and weirdos, you do not have to do nothing to. These motherfuckers is just evil to the core. And when they say, oh, we all come from the same source, prior to Akhenaten in Kemet, that they didn't believe in one God, one source, okay, and it being two sides of the same individual. They believed in multiple, and honestly, I'm kind of feeling like, it's like multiple, because I'm gonna tell you this. My whole thing is, and remember, I'm not religious, but Jesus, who was the plagiarized story of Heru out off the walls of Kemet, aka Egypt, he was like, my family are those who believe like me. Okay, he wasn't coming back to save everybody, and that's where they get it twisted. Okay, so that in itself, he wasn't coming back to save everybody, and mostly he was coming back to save the children. Baby, read the scriptures again. He wasn't coming back for all these adults, because he knew they was wicked as fuck, and a lot of them had already sold out or been programmed in such a way that they were beyond reproach. They were beyond saving. Okay, he was coming back, or she was coming back to save these babies. Okay, so with that being said, okay, he said, my family are those who think like me and believe like me. Okay, he wasn't talking about blood relatives. He wasn't talking about friends. He said, my family. So you got to be around like-minded individuals who are on the same frequency, vibration, and, you know, energetic wave as you are, right? But in the meantime and in between time, until you find your soul family, you know, it's real out in these spiritual streets. And, you know, like I stated in the beginning, these practitioners, right? I just clearly heard like the Angelina Jolie when it was stated, you know, touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. It was like, is that a dare or a double dare? You know, like they wanted to step up and put it to the test. Well, baby, that they did. And, you know, certain places are considered the show me state. So you can talk a good game, but they want you to show and prove. And baby, they getting it proven that this is FO season. Fuck around and find out that shit ain't sweet over here. They thought I was an easy target, right? Because whatever they think I look like with my glasses and everything, you know, I don't know. I don't know. There's many reasons why they probably thought I was an easy target, but that's the trap, baby. That is the trap. You think I'm an easy target if you don't know me, if you don't know my spiritual ranking, if you look at the physical and not the spiritual. Yeah, hell yeah, I probably look like an easy target. Okay. Okay. I'm I'm not going to disagree with that, but what I will say is that, and I've already said this many, I don't even know, probably hundreds of thousands of times before. Them underestimating me, I have no problem with. I have no problem with them underestimating me, because that does not do me any kind of disservice whatsoever. Underestimate me. Please do. Absolutely underestimate me. These motherfuckers was not ready for me to be able to, one, see them. I see them. And then they did not and weren't expecting me to be able to see their signaling, their spell work, you know, whatever you want to call their witchcraft workings or whatever. They were not ready and prepared for the way that I was going to fight back, because they thought I guess they thought I was weak, and or their spell work was going to have such an effect on me that I was just going to be scared or just weakened, but that's not the case. Okay, strong as fuck, always have been, always will be. Okay, mind is sane and sound. Okay, body is sane and sound. Okay, so although part of their spell work was confusion, illusions, you know, they wanted to stifle my intuition, you know, so I would make improper decisions, right? Just it was just so much stuff. Yeah, but also you have to remember that when they're doing these things back to back and in such a heavy concentration, you know that it is time for your breakthrough. You know it's time for the level up. You know it is not time to rest and relax and let these mofos have a heyday. It's time to put on the full armor of God and, you know, put your big girl panties on, your big boy panties on, pants on, or whatever, strap up the boots, and it's ready to go to fucking war. I don't know what I do not know what they thought this was gonna be, or what they thought this was, but baby, it was not that. It absolutely was not that, and it was never gonna be that. But sometimes You just got to let people, and especially your enemies, make their mistakes, and you never ever correct your enemies for making mistakes. Maybe in the first mistake they did was underestimating me. That was the first mistake. But oh well, that's not my problem. That is absolutely not my problem. So, anyways, I just wanted to come and tell you that, just to do regular, everyday life and work on the things that I'm assigned to do by God to be here, that I agreed upon before coming back. It's like every last single, I guess you could say, step of the way, it seems like there's been some kind of opposition and an attack, right? And like I said, it had been so layered. I said that I think in another video, the layering. It was supposed to be so much layering that there was supposed to be an impossibility of me being able to speak clearly, intellectually, sanely to you guys today. I was supposed to be a basket case, like crazy as fuck. Like a confirmation somebody else's phone just went off in the background. I was supposed to not only be crazy, but whatever poison was supposed to take effect, I was supposed to be hauled off in some kind of loony bin, crisis, motherfucking team, whatever. Yeah, like they had all this shit planned out, and the vans was rolling around. Okay, this AM, I cannot even make it up. They had a whole orchestration, right? And a strategic plan in place. Thank you. But the devil is alive today, tomorrow, and always. So we rebuked, bind, and chained, dismantled, all of that. All of it. I did this video where I had a voiceover or I guess you could call it a remix, and it's 50 Cent talking. And he was like, basically, when there's a bully on the block, basically you either going to get bullied, for the rest of your life, or you going to, tell them you looking for them in not so many words. That's not his exact words, but, he was like, it changes the feeling when, first of all, they wasn't expecting me to fight at all. They thought I was just going to be a scared little biatch. They thought I was going to be a scared little biatch. And just let them, lay down and let them do whatever the fuck they was going to do. And so they wasn't ready for me to war with them and step up the way that I did. They was not ready for that. And it's crazy because I actually had a dream that was almost similar in a way, where this melanated sister had come into my dream, and she had said something to the effect that was like letting me know that she was going to war with me and she was going to fight me. And she thought that at that point when she said that, and the energy that she had, that I was going to cower and bow down. And when I looked that bitch in the eyes and I said what I said, which was in a nutshell that uh, basically, I was hoping that she would not take that stance. Like, it's unfortunate that she wants to come at me like this. However, I'll match that energy and add to it. If that's what you really wishing, that's unfortunate because I'm a master at this shit. Okay, I am an ascended master, and I can match that dark. I can match it. I don't choose to, unless I have to pull that out, but I will. And then I'll put it back in the dungeon, because that is a wild beast. That is a wild beast that y'all never wanted to unlock, but sometimes I gotta let her free. And not egotistically. Just to whoop some ass and then, she's done with whatever she had to do. I'm at peace. I'm at peace with her coming out when she needs to come out. I feel no type of way about it because some of these mofos, you got to speak their language, and I've said this before. Baby, they do not understand love and light. They don't understand we can speak intellectually and problem solve and come to negotiation conclusions. These people do not honor oaths. They don't honor agreements. They don't honor. So you got to speak their language, and the only language they know is fuck around and find out and whoop that ass. So, you got to bring it to them how they know and how they speak. You got to speak their same language. You're not going to know Japanese speaking Greek, okay? You ain't speaking Farsi to the Japanese. That's not what you got to speak the language that they speak. And baby, that's the language that they speak is war. They speak war, okay? They speak war. So that's what they want. That's, baby, I'll oblige. I will oblige. And for a long time, like I stated in another video, I was transmuting that energy. I was nullifying it, thinking that some of these people and entities and beings would make the right decision and turn around and do the right thing and all this stuff. No, these mofos want to double down on wickedness. They want to double down on evil, diabolical wickedness. Okay, all right, well, I'm going to match that energy because love and light still can whoop that ass. That's called Archangel Michael. Okay, he wasn't a punk. I don't know what they thought this was, but it wasn't that. I don't know that if they thought Archangel Michael and the warring angels was some kind of punks, but that they not. Just because they love and light don't mean they ain't coming to cut off heads. Okay? And there is a science and spirituality to cutting off the heads. And I'm down with that. Because I know about it too. So, anyways, I'm not going to, as they say, run it up. I'm going to let my ancestors, guardian angels, and I'm going to let the celestial beings, the cherub angels, the Galactic Federation, and I feel like I'm missing one. Anyways, those known and unknown that war for me and my spiritual team, I'm going to give them full authority, the ones that want the best for my lineage, bloodline, and my kitty baby. I'm going to give them full authority to war on my behalf to known and unknown enemies waging known and unknown wars. Right, and we're sending back to sender every last single weapon that has been formed against myself, my lineage, and my kitty baby. We sending it back to the sender, the practitioner, the employer of the practitioner, as well as a financier of these weird-ass practitioners with nano pinpoint accuracy, baby, and that is accurate. We sending all of that back. We sending it all back to them. All back. It's going to be the biggest backfire in history. In history. in our story. Okay? Yeah, but they're gonna find out exactly why God said, "Touch not my anointed," because they go into war with God too. It's not just the angels; they go into war with the Most High, Mother and Father, God and Goddess. Okay, which I'm a direct descendant of. Okay, all right. They didn't check. They didn't check my spiritual uh, rank. They didn't check my, you know, spiritual credentials before they stepped into this. But okay, not my problem. So, if you guys need anything else from me, you know where to find it in the description, right? Like my 3 websites to include my fine art and Nieve Tigres merch, okay, both on print on demand. You can also find my technologically advanced interactive activity ebook that I authored, illustrated, and self-published. While fighting these weirdos, right? It's like every last little step of the way, I've had to fight these weirdos to get anything accomplished. I got some new shit that I've been working on that I have not disclosed yet, but I've gotten some other stuff knocked off my goal list, and they gonna be real mad. These haters are gonna be real mad about this new stuff, but it's whatever. You know, they don't want to heal. They don't want to do the work to do this, you know, uh, self healing journey and raising themselves up spiritually, right? Well, so that they can actually accomplish beautiful things, in their lives. So, some of these people, they look on paper and they look like publicly like they actually have gotten all these accomplishments and things, and their soul is so dark, and they done stole so much from other people. That's part of the wealth transfer as well, because a lot of these people are living in stolen mansions. They're living in stolen estates, stolen legacies, right? Stolen resources, stolen artifacts. They are living, and they have been. That is a wealth transfer, because a lot of this stuff that they claiming as their wealth, no, it's not. It's other people's. And so when the heirs and heiresses wake up to realizing that that stuff is actually theirs. hmm then they're gonna regain everything that was stolen, and that's the wealth transfer that these people are fighting tooth and nail to attempt to try to stall, so that they could try to come up with another failed plan of you know keeping what they have stole. But the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Today, tomorrow, and always. We are getting back everything that has been stolen from us. Period. Okay? So, with that, if you would like to support this channel by uh, financial means, you can do so by hitting them by Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or buying me a coffee. And if financial means do not allow for you to do that, then for free, FREE 99, free 99, you can like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when any other videos are being posted. I would not. Better not. They got 2 medical staff in here right now acting like they up to something. So I'm just watching them because I have trust issues. I have trust issues. Yeah. So anyways, where was I at with the outro? I ended up having to pay closer attention to these people around me, just in case they want to you know, start some stuff that I might have to finish. But anyways, I'm just ready for to live in absolute peace where I don't have to be on alert like this around demons and devils, you know, that plotting on things that thankfully God protects me from. Yeah. So, anyways, oh, the last thing because I was in the middle of the outro, to hype up the video. Yeah, make sure that if you have a hype, it's the beginning of the week. Make sure you hype it up. All right. With that being said, peace.